Hello, your eyes do not deceive you. This is indeed still happening and still all systems go. This is episode 1 of the TEW 2020 challenge run. Has been a bit of a pain in the ass to set this up, more than I thought it would be, because I did start using the Killing the Business mod June 1, and I had to change it all because all the contracts in it were set to like begin in June, and it wouldn't let me start because for some reason that's not a thing that the mod can just fix easily, which it should be, but hey ho, I'm not a game developer, so I can't really say that. But then I changed over to what I'm now using, which is the Real World Chronicles mod. So I had to do it all over again, and I've also had to sit here and plan out the stories because I look at this roster and I just see like the current WWE roster of just boring dog food, Dolph Ziggler world title match roster, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this? So obviously that did take a while of planning. I was going to do the a big video announcing all of the challenges, but I couldn't be bothered, to be quite honest. And so they're just going to be in the description to if you want to read them all. I will probably have them on the screen at some point as well, so it is easy of access because I know a lot of people don't read the description. But yeah, I think we are all finally ahead to go. I'm not sure how this is going to sound. I'm not even sure if you're actually hearing this because normally what I did last year was I used my phone to record my audio and obviously my computer to record the game. But I'm actually got my computer to pick up the PS4 microphone this time because I've got a new laptop and it's better and just functions better than the last one I had. So if you can hear me, it's fine. If I sound better, that's fine. If not, well, I'll learn because I'll listen back to the recording after this one. So that will be changed for SmackDown if I feel like it comes out bad quality. But for now, I think it should be fine. And I think that's everything I have to go over. And without any further ado, let's begin the first episode of Raw. I won't beg, break, I'm going away. Every moment's one more chance to stand up or get in the... In a quite fitting way for this TEW series, the first voice we hear is that of new COO Triple H, who's taking over Vince McMahon, who retired after WrestleMania. The Raw after WrestleMania opens up with Triple H coming out, and he's like, ugh. So this is a new era here in WWE. If you didn't hear, Vince McMahon, he stepped down after WrestleMania, and now I am running the shots here on Raw and SmackDown. And obviously, we thank Vince for all his contributions over the last God knows how long, and we hope to keep running WWE as strongly as we can with it in his absence. And tonight is the first step in a new era of WWE. And since Triple H has now been the role that Vince was in before, and he's obviously still running operations at NXT, he can't overlook all the shows. So we're gonna bring back the general managers, because I think they're fun to book. I like booking authority figures. We'll see Raw's new GM. He'll be here next week. SmackDown's will be on SmackDown on Friday, and obviously William Regal will still be in NXT with Triple H, but we're not worried about that because we don't book NXT. First and foremost, though, he has someone he wants to bring out here, and that is successfully defending her Raw Women's title last night, the man Becky Lynch, who of course isn't actually on screen for reasons we're about to get to. Obviously, we know what happens here. Becky won at WrestleMania, but she's coming out here to vacate the Raw Women's title and announce, obviously, that she's pregnant and she'll be gone for a year. She hugged Triple H and relinquishes the belt, so the Raw Women's title is now vacant, and the ban won't be around for a year, which feels like some sort of cruel challenge that someone in the comments left, but in reality, it's the hardest challenge I'm going to have to live with, and wasn't even a person who set it, it was fucking real life Seth Rollins. But in the wake of this, all good, there's every kind of the silver lining and such, as Triple H announces there'll be a tournament beginning tonight. We'll have the first round, all four first matches tonight to crown the new Raw Women's title, the Raw Women's Champion at the Raw pay-per-view Backlash at the end of the month. And that first match happens right now, and it is first match of the TEW Challenge Run 2020 is Nia Jax defeating Natalya. Yowie wowie. Nia Jax was penalised due to being in extremely poor form. You don't fucking say. So after that, we just get a 86 rated WrestleMania recap video of the Raw side of WrestleMania. It shows obviously the Boneyard match, Becky beating Shayna, which I haven't put them on screen because of still only being allowed 8 people. Rollins and Owens, Randy Orton and Edge, and obviously Drew beating Brock Lesnar. And then Tom Phillips says that WrestleMania didn't go off without a hitch. Like, nobody has heard from AJ Styles after he got buried by the Undertaker. No one has heard from Randy Orton after he got knocked out by Edge, and no one has heard from Seth Rollins following his embarrassing 2 defeats at the hands of Kevin Owens. So 3 of Raw's top heels no one has seen or heard from since last night. So how will the red brand shape without them going forward? In tag team match, Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, because I believe in real life they became an unofficial team on the Raw after Mania. So we're going to do that again here because I like the team and I feel like they could do some cool stuff together. And they beat Riddick Moss and Tony Nese. Ricochet beats Riddick Moss with the standing shooting star press. Ricochet 59, Cedric 43, Nese 37, Riddick 31. Ricochet has a hot new move apparently. After that match, we get the Street Profits and Bianca Belair, who came to their aid at the end of WrestleMania of their match with Austin Theory and Angel Garza. And the Profits are backstage doing their usual shtick, saying "fam" a lot and drinking out of their cups. And Bianca says, "This isn't the time to be joking. This is the Raw after WrestleMania." And as always, this is the time everyone wants to step up and they're looking to try and create their own opportunity. And that includes all of the tag teams here on Raw. That includes the Viking Raiders. That includes, as we just saw, Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. That includes is that it? Is that all the tag teams on Raw? Can't be. I guess Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins, but no, we haven't heard no from Seth. Jesus, is that actually it? I know I'm missing someone. It's annoying me. Oh well. I spent long enough on this segment, so Bianca's just telling them to be on their toes and watch out because other tag teams are going to be looking to break out, and again, possibly tag teams that we haven't seen yet could break into the fold. Next match in the tournament, Liv Morgan gets another win over Ruby Riott in 6:52. Liv gets a 40, Ruby gets a 42. 46 trade match. We then get a promo from the Iconics, who are back, and they're just being their usual selves in backstage, shouting at people and letting the world know that they have returned to Monday Night Raw, and that when Peyton Royce wins the tournament to become the new Raw Women's Champion, her reign will be simply iconic. We then get a match which happened in real life, but in this world it only goes 13 minutes and not the 30 that they had it go in real life. So Apollo Crews, who was the new Raw signing, I think they called him because he was an expiring draft pick or something. But we're bringing him to Raw anyway, like they did in real life, and he's going to also have his match with Aleister Black. It's not going to go quite as long, but it's going to be just as effective in sort of opening people's eyes to Apollo. And Black beats him with a Black Mass in 13 minutes. Just a nice, strong little match. We then get Zelina Vega and her army coming out, including Andrade, who wasn't seen at WrestleMania. Zelina comes out and she says that Vega and Garza, not Vega, Theory and Garza came up short, and they couldn't quite get the job done when they win the Raw Tag titles. But obviously that's not Angel Garza's fault because Austin Theory was the one in that match and he took the pinfall. But that doesn't matter though because Andrade's back, so this is now a 3-man and 1-woman group, and it's the strongest it's ever going to be. And their next step to taking over Raw and making Andrade and Angel Garza the next great Latino stars. And also Austin Theory is here for the ride because I don't know, he's all day. Vegas says Andrade, since he didn't wrestle at WrestleMania, he's looking for a challenge tonight. And then he's interrupted by the music of Rey Mysterio. Andrade is ready to accept another match against Rey Mysterio because obviously they've had a load of matches together. He's beaten Rey, Rey's beaten him, so they know each other fine. He reckons he can take him. Rey grabs a microphone. He says that obviously, as I just said, he has fought Andrade countless times, and he doesn't want to face Andrade tonight. He actually comes out here and he asks Austin Theory He says you're going to let who is supposedly supposed to be your mouthpiece, your representative, your agent, is just openly sat here and called you the weak link of his team. Are you going to sit there and accept? You're going to sit there and accept that, or you're your own man and can you stand up for yourself? Theory takes the microphone. He goes back to sleep. He slaps Ray before he says anything, and then obviously the match begins. Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory, which gets a 66. Rey Mysterio beats him in 12 minutes with a 619. And I'm noticing the ratings for the Real World Chronicles mod are pretty fine. Like I see a lot of people complaining about the 2020 ratings. I think that was just a sour taste when there was no official mods out, and like so we had to import the January mod, and like everyone at NXT was getting shit on, and half the main roster was getting shit on. So people were sort of like, "Oh, game's broken." But I think now we actually have dedicated 2020 mods. They may be a little bit lower. I have noticed. Like I can't smash out 100 rating just for the sake of it, but yeah, they don't seem to be that bad. So Rey Mysterio beats Austin Theory. Zelina Vega gets into the ring with the rest of her boys, and they help Austin Theory to his feet. But Vega gives him a low blow, and then Garza and Theory beat him up. So wasting a little time in getting Austin Theory out of this group. I don't want to say like he didn't fit because obviously they're all Hispanic and all that, but I feel like there is other things he could be doing, and like the Vega group isn't the best fit for. It's not because he's white and the rest of them are Mexican. It's just because like it doesn't sort of fit the whole visual of the group. But there will be other stuff for Austin Theory to do in the near future, which I'm sure it won't take a genius to figure out what. Peyton's match is here against Asuka, and she wins it. Well, Peyton doesn't win it. Asuka wins it in 7:41 with an Asuka lock. Asuka got to 69. Peyton got 39. Asuka's in amazing form, which I can agree with. 63 rated match is actually all right for that. So then Asuka grabs a mic. She's like, easy peasy, easy peasy. Asuka, no one's ready for Asuka, blah, blah, blah. And then she's going to, after losing the women's tag team titles last night at WrestleMania, Asuka's going to use that to fuel her chase to become the next Raw Women's Champion. And Kairi's got her match with Shayna Baszler up next, so when Kairi beats Shayna, that'll be one step closer to having Kabuki Warriors holding the Raw Women's Championship, which obviously doesn't go according to plan. Shayna beats Kairi in 10:46, 60 rated match. Shayna is getting pretty good ratings, but Kairi is not quite there. Well, she's 47. That's actually not that bad. That's like a step above like Liv and Ruby and Nia. So that's like Natty level, which I find insulting, but I guess the game quite rates Natalia. Camera cuts, speaking of Ruby, camera cuts backstage to Ruby Riott. She's angrily storming through the hallway. She's like taking her wrist tape off and like throwing jackets on the floor after she lost the match earlier on. She's like kicking a box out of anger because she got beat again by Liv Morgan, who was her lackey for so long. Charlie comes up to her and she's like, "How do you feel after losing to Liv Morgan yet again, Ruby?" And then Ruby grabs Charlie. She's like, "How do you think I'm feeling?" And then shoves her to the floor and then storms off. So Ruby clearly not happy with her defeat here to Liv Morgan, and Charlie Caruso sort of took the bearings of it. Nice. Kevin Owens defeated Shelton Benjamin in 8:49 with a pop-up powerbomb. Kevin 71, Shelton 48, gets a 69. Nice. And Shelton, of course, if you see the goals, he actually has to be someone I get up in popularity. So I don't think him losing to Kevin will damage him too much. If this still works the same way as in 2016, that should be a nice open match for him to like showcase his skills in. But there is other stuff for Shelton to do later on, so don't worry about him. He'll be fine. Kevin Owens, however, is celebrating his win when out comes Buddy Murphy onto the stage. Murphy tells Owens he got lucky at WrestleMania when he beat Seth Rollins. And Owens is like, "How do you mean I got lucky? I beat him twice." And then Murphy says, obviously, as we heard earlier on, no one's been able to hear from Seth Rollins after his loss at WrestleMania. But he knows that Seth's watching in spirit, and he's going to make his Messiah proud right now by putting an end to Kevin Owens. Murphy storms into the ring and tries to take the fight to Kevin, but he ends up on the back foot and is dropped with a stunner. Drew McIntyre, the WWE Champion, in an 87 rated segment. Drew comes out and he cuts a promo about winning the WWE title and slaying at WrestleMania and slaying the Beast, and obviously the crowd, because we have a crowd in this universe. Because in this universe, WrestleMania was taped, and then I guess the virus just sort of fucked off. So everyone's back, and fans are packing in their 6,000s to see the Raw after WrestleMania. What you gonna do about it? I guess it's sort of a thing that has to happen because you can't really replicate a fucking global pandemic in TEW. Lashley interrupts him, and Lashley congratulates Drew McIntyre on his win over Brock Lesnar. And obviously, as an old friend, when they were both friends in the thrilling Baron Corbin 3-man Bland stable, that he wants to challenge Drew to his first WWE Championship match. And obviously, as we heard in real life, for like 13 years or whatever, people were like, I haven't had a WWE Championship match since I returned. I'd quite like one. I know you waited a long time to get yours at WrestleMania, so let's give this a go. And then Drew's like, all right, mate, because he's a fighting champion. So we get McIntyre and Lashley, not on Backlash, but on the Raw after WrestleMania, instead of him fighting the fucking Big Show. Because that, like, him fighting Big Show would have been fine, but, like, the way they did it, him coming out after Mania, like, so was that technically the WrestleMania main event? Was it technically Drew McIntyre versus the Big Show? Or just whatever? But anyway, that doesn't happen in here. It's blatantly the Raw after WrestleMania, and Drew McIntyre beats Bobby Lashley to defend his WWE title at 66. Lana is apparently still with Lashley. Didn't intend for that. I think Lana was supposed to just sort of vanish off Lashley in my world because Lashley will be doing other stuff. However, the night's over for our friend Drew McIntyre. He's celebrating his victory when he's jumped from behind by a returning Jinder Mahal. Jinder lays him out with the Kalass. He lays out his old three-man band friend, and he grabs that WWE Championship he so infamously held once, and he looks at it, and he holds up in the air as the show goes off the air, as the Maharaja is back, and he's staking a claim for his friend's WWE Championship. We end the show, and it scores us 64, which isn't great, but obviously it's the first show, and ratings obviously do start quite bad in all mods. It's not just this one. Austin Theory was used too much. WWE hasn't got enough interesting storylines going on. But what matters more than obviously what the game is how I feel and how you feel about the actual story development, because I'm less so playing this as a game and more so as a projection to just sort of get my booking out there, and not like, oh, the game hates me because I've got 64. So because I'm happy with what actually happened on this show, I'm content with the show rating. It's fine, and that will increase over time. Actually, I think I would like to drop to medium because it becomes a lot easier to run WWE as a medium company. Because like the heat for the storyline is only like a 50. Be hot, so then all your feuds are hot, and then you fly up and pop. So I think actually dropping would be beneficial. But hey ho, I'm not going to wish for that. Anyway, that's the first episode of the 2020 Challenge one out of the way. Obviously, please do let me know what you thought in the comments, and I will hope to see you next time for SmackDown. Hopefully, I will see you then.